Hey guys, and welcome to Snowbreak Containment Zone. So we'll do a full review of Katya Rhapsody, our new limited operative for the second year anniversary of the game. And let's see if she's worth pulling or not. So we'll start off with her skills, and let's go with her standard skill, Wings of Space-Time. So this one has a cooldown, it's a quick cooldown of 0.8 seconds. Energy cost is 0. So Katya deploys a phase 1 dimensional amplifier, consuming 0.7 S energy for every 0.1 seconds to keep it active. While active, Katya does not automatically recover S energy when one of her shot passes through the dimensional amplifier. The dimensional pursuit cannons, so this is going to be 2 cannons on each side, assist the attack with 1 instance of frost attack. This damage is affected by boost to ballistic damage, hipfire ballistic damage, and target damage taken, but cannot deal crit. So similar to her crossbow, we're not really, this is not, this is not new to us. So dimensional pursuit cannons can be triggered once every 0.2 seconds. So when a certain number of Katya's shots pass through the dimensional amplifier, it is enhanced. So technically, you're going to be seeing a number in the middle of the screen. It's either 1, 2, or 3. So once you reach phase 2, dimensional amplifier size increases, so it just widens, and you must take it to phase 3 for an increased size. And when Katya's shot passes through the dimensional amplifier and hits a target, increases ballistic damage by 30% for 1 second. So dimensional pursuit cannons are not auxiliary units and are not affected by auxiliary unit bonuses. Using standard skill again, while the dimensional amplifier is already active, will reset its position. So more or less, we're gonna be seeing this later in the demo. Just wanna go through the skills. Can still shoot while it is resetting. While the dimensional amplifier is active, Katya's S energy will be at 0. So while they are there, the 2 Gatling guns plus the dimensional amplifier. So if she holds standard skill, dodges through the dimensional amplifier, or leaves the field, the dimensional amplifier is returned and recovers up to 50 energy, up to 50 S energy. So take note, this is not 50 flat. It's really up to, depending on its phase, depending if you are at phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. But take note, I've actually tested this a couple of times, and I can't seem to see the 50 or any S energy come back. Probably a bug in the system. I'm not sure if the kit is actually fixed, but right now the 50 S energy does not come back. Honestly, I don't mind that the 50 S energy or any S energy comes back, because the S energy cost of this skill is at 0. So technically, you won't be using it here. You're more or less going to be using the S energy in the support skill. So not so much of a problem there. So when entering combat, Katya immediately gains 120 temporal factor. This one, the temporal factor, I'm going to be indicating that to you in a while. It's in the phase wherein she is like boosted and she could go around faster. I'm going to be showing you that in a while, because I was confused also on what is the temporal factor. She also gains 30 temporal factor after dodging. So once you consume it, you just dodge and dodge. Then it actually, regains itself. If she sprints while she has any temporal factor, she will enter a temporal factoring sprinting state, which is what I mean by being boosted. Reloading will interrupt this state. She consumes 20 temporal factor every 1 second while in this state. So if no dimensional amplifier is active while she is in this state, she additionally recovers 10 S energy every 1 second. So 2 times that she can recover S energy, but again, this skill, it doesn't require it because energy cost is at 0. So Gatling gun operatives cannot utilize cover. Sorry for that. So dimensional pursuit cannons assist attack damage is 29% of Katya's attack stat plus 31. So take note, this scales on her attack stat. Her first neural skill is when the dimensional amplifier is at phase 3, which is the highest one. Each assist attack by the dimensional pursuit cannons replenishes 7 bullets for Katya. So kind of delaying her, her depletion of her bullets. And when the phase 3 dimensional amplifier is returned, she replenishes 50 bullets for herself. So when the dimensional amplifier is active, increases Katya's anti-interruption ability. Katya's final damage taken also decreases according to the dimensional amplifier phase up to a reduction of 30. So this kit in itself is going to give her extra ballistic damage once you shoot through the dimensional amplifier. Is actually very long. So this one is going to be her bread and butter. Let's go to her support skill. You won't be using her much as a support unit. She's gonna be a primary DPS as her role, so the ones that she's gonna be generating for her S energy cost will be used here. Kinda, so continuous release. Katya slashes through space-time, dealing frost damage and knocking the target into the air, suspending them there. She follows up with a continuous attack as the target falls slowly, dealing up to 38 instances of frost damage. This damage is affected by boost to ballistic damage, hip fire, ballistic damage, and target damage taken, but cannot deal crit. Support skill cooldown starts after the follow-up attack ends. This is really a plus for a kit. Again, I don't see her using this frequently. Space-time slash damage is 5% of Katya's attack, and follow-up attack damage is 4.5% of Katya's attack, plus 14, which again is going to be scaled on her attack skill. For her neural skills, when the support skill ends early because the target was defeated, decrease the cooldown by 5 seconds. When the target's HP is below 50%, increases Katya's support skill final damage dealt to the target by 20%. So again, this is a nice skill to have, but not gonna be used much as she's going to be your primary DPS damage dealer. This is her ultimate skill, Deluge of Destruction. So cooldown is 5 seconds. Ultimate energy cost is 12. I'd rather you have this as stay in, because if you're using somebody and if you use their ultimate or her ultimate, Katya's ultimate, you could actually go directly to her rather than going back to the operative that you previously used. So Katya floats in the air and unleashes her full arsenal of destruction. Her anti-interruption ability is increased as she bombards the target for 7 seconds every 0.2 seconds. Her 4 shatter storm cannons. So this is now 4. 1 in each corner of your screen. Deals 1 instance of frost damage up to 10 targets in the area. So this has a very good clearing, ability for mob clearing. So every 0.35 seconds, her 2 razor hail cannons deal 1 instance of frost damage up to 10 targets in the area as well. So basically, once she has her ultimate out, she has 6 cannons all in all. 4 shard storm cannons and her 2 razor hail cannons, which I think is similar to the one she is using in her in her standard skill. So 6 cannons all in all with 10 targets in the area. The damage of both types of cannons is affected by boost to ballistic damage, hip fire ballistic damage, target damage taken, but cannot deal crit. So using ultimate skill returns her dimensional when using her ultimate skill, returns her dimensional amplifier to her if it's in the field. During the ultimate skill bombardment, using ultimate skill again will end it early. So each time she defeats a target during her ultimate skill bombardment, increases the skill's remaining duration by 2. So as long as she is killing mobs, duration is actually increased. So, but never exceeding 7 seconds remaining. Ultimate skill cooldown starts after the bombardment ends. This one is going to be scaling on attack and scaling on damage for the Razor Hill Cannon, Shard Storm is going to be an attack. So for the neural skill for this one is after every 600 seconds, Katya can use ultimate skill once without consuming U energy. So 60 seconds, roughly what? 10 minutes? That's kind of long. I'm not sure, you'll be reaching that when you're, dealing with, unless if it's a very long stage, though you can actually avail of this, but that is really very long at 10 minutes. Okay, so for every one target defeated by the ultimate skill, decreases U energy consumed by Katya's next ultimate skill by 3 to a minimum of 0. Okay, so last is going to be Fading Calamity for Deus alignment. When equipped with a frost weapon, increases Katya's weapon compatibility by an extra 8%. For each 100 alignment index, increases her attack an extra 5%. So that is it. Those are very, very basic. Compatibility basically is increasing the damage of the weapon, if I can recall correctly. So let's go to her logistics and see how it's going to impact her whole play. So for her logistics, you're going to be using her own logistics, which is Prism. It comes with her in the event shop. So with 2 officers, increase frost damage by 24%. And at 3, if equipped by Katya, Rhapsody, after dealing frost damage, gains 1 stack of Icy Calm. At 10 stacks, increases her attack by 25%. At 20, increases her ballistic damage by another 20%. The first one was attack by 25%. At 30 stacks, increases full squad's frost damage by 15. This is actually kind of important because if you want to make full use of her kit at 30 stacks, you should be able to at least bring 1 other frost operative. We'll go to that. Which frost operative is or does she synergize well with? So that will answer this one, just in case that you would want to make use of the increase in full squad's frost damage. Icy Calm has a max of 30 stacks and lasts for 0.5 seconds. At max stats, gaining any more stacks resets the effect duration. Okay, so again, I think this is the perfect logistics for her with the attack 25 and ballistic damage of 20. So for her manifestation, let's start with M1. M1 is after a target is hit by dimensional pursuit cannons, increases its ballistic damage taken from Katya by 18% for 1 second. So this one is an additional damage in terms of ballistic damage or ballistic damage taken. Okay, M2 is going to increase or is going to have buffs again for the full squad's frost damage by 20%. Again, her kit is basically forcing us to use frost damage operatives. So 1 in her logistics and 1 in her M2. So this, aside from her benefiting from it, it's also nice to use other frost damage operatives, which we'll go to later. At M3, when a shot passes through the dimensional amplifier and hits a target, decreases its defense by 1% for 1 second up to 15%. This one is gonna increase her damage definitely, because this one is going to decrease the defense of your target or targets probably as you switch. So for M4, this is just Wings of Spacetime skill level +1. This is your standard skill. Increases dimensional pursuit cannon's assist attack damage to 31.9% of Katya's attack plus 36. Then the last one, which is going to be what they call this, Icebound Stars. This is a passive skill. Increases attack by 10%. Okay, if there is at least 1 other frost operative in the squad, increase attack by another 10%. Again, you have to take advantage of these because this is how she is actually, or she was actually made, or in terms of the gimmick or the synergy of her skill. So let's go to her weapon comparison and effects. Infinite Chronos Tier 5, this one. This is available in the event shop. This is going to be the SR variant of the Gatling gun. So what it gives is S Energy Restore 0.3 after 6 shots. Again, I'm not sure where the S energy is going to be going to because again, her standard skill is 0 cost to S energy, but let's have it there just for the support skill. Frost damage is increased by 30%. This is a max at tier 5, and ballistic damage 30% as well for tier 5. So these are the bonuses. At next one is going to be Cobalt Cyclone. This is your tier 1 signature weapon. The base attack bonus for tier 1 is at 18. If you take it to tier 2, it's at 30%. So S Energy Restore increased by 0.2. That's just it. But ballistic damage is increased by 36%. This is just for tier 1. If you take this gun to tier 2, it's going to be at 60%. So this is going to be based on shooting and skill release. Okay, once you do shoot and release the skill, then you avail of the 36%. The next one, the last one in this category here, is ballistic damage taken. Okay, 18% if it's tier 1. Tier 2, it's going to be bumped up to 30%. So this one is dependent on the skill hits. So this is based, I think, on the standard skill, or probably also the ultimate skill. So those are, the things that you should know. Definitely your tier 1 has a lot more buffs, except that tier 1 for the signature weapon though, except for the SR variant has frost damage. So those are the differences. More ballistic damage for the signature weapon and more frost damage for your SR variant. So again, at tier 1, it has a bit of an advantage, probably between 20 to 30% damage. But as you scale to tier 2, clearly it's a big upgrade. Ballistic damage is going to be doubled at 20%, and ballistic damage taken is going to be at 30, plus your attack stat is going to be from 18% to 30% for your signature weapon. So definitely, it depends upon you if you are, if you're free to play. Definitely, the SR weapon is not bad. The buffs are very good. Plus, you can farm the weapon up to tier 5. If you can find it in yourself to get tier 1, at least the signature weapon, you could actually farm the tier 2 in the shop for a second copy. As you play the game, you don't need to pull it in the banner. Then you go for the signature weapon, which is Cobalt Cyclone Tier 1. So as far as synergy is concerned in terms of Frost, I think the number one that you should consider is Akasha Kaguya. Number one, because this one is going to help Katya Rhapsody in decreasing all type resistance by 24%. Not only does this benefit Kaguya, again, it benefits what do you call this? It benefits Katya as well. And if you take a look at the weapon, which is Pine Aurora, okay, so when off the field, increase the operative's frost damage by 5.4%. So Kaguya does give Katya some buffs in terms of the weapon frost damage. Plus, if you use if you use her support skill with Katya, it also increases Katya's damage because of the decreased all type resistance by 24%. The other, I think, synergy that can be useful with Katya is going to be the support skill of Wild Hunt. Okay, so for the support skill, there is going to be freeze damage and freezing targets for 4 seconds, just in case you need freeze or you need to freeze a mob definitely this is going to be very useful. So a second synergy for Katya. The third synergy, definitely another useful one because Katya will be needing a healer. So basically, Yao Quiet Quitter is actually perfect for her. She's a freeze operative, and she would be useful if you want to trigger some of the effects that Katya has in her kit. So basically, Yao is all about healing, and this device is going to be following Katya around the battlefield. But most probably Katya would be standing and shooting through the dimensional amplifiers, so she will definitely be needing a healer. So we'll start off with this team. I want to try the synergy. I think this is probably a good synergy. There are other synergies that Katya can actually have. I'm going to be talking more about that in the build guide. It doesn't have to be freeze. I think the minimum freeze operative that she only needs is actually one. So you can actually forgo one of them and slot in anybody that can help Katya. But for this one, let's check this one out. So with this for kit, I would suggest that you do standard skill first. Then you do Kaguya's support skill. Just make sure that you are shooting through the dimensional amplifier so that more or less you can take advantage of that burst damage. As you can see, the burst damage for this kit is very, very good. Takes no time to finish off that boss. But more or less, guys, she's a very straightforward operative, high on burst damage, and more or less gonna be competitive in the top operatives for our tier list. So my thoughts on Katya, again, for burst damage, for the magazine that she has and the burst damage that she can deal, even though without crit damage, she's gonna be crazy good. Okay, I believe that the upcoming test is going to be a freeze operative to complement her. Mark my word. But again, don't quote me on that. But more or less, my senses tell me that Tess is going to be a freeze operative to trigger some of the bonuses that she will be getting, especially for the manifestation, especially for the last one at M5. Again, the two that I just featured are probably the base. You have options for them. Kaguya is probably one of the top that I would use with Katya, because not only does Katya have a boost for Kaguya, but Kaguya's gun has a boost for Katya as well. So again, she's easy to use as long as you have a healer. If you like and enjoy using a minigun or a Gatling gun, she will be very, very fun to use, especially if you just want to take it cool, just shoot on the spot. If you want to ask me again right now, I can't really test whether Chenxing Jade Arc is actually comparable to her, because my Chenxing is at M4. But right now, I will tell you at M0, she is definitely on her way to be even with Chenxing Jade Arc, or even besting her. So I'm not sure how I am going to be testing that, but definitely I will try to. Right now at M0, definitely she's going to be in the top tier. So guys, what do you think of Katya? Will you be pulling for her? Take care, guys. Stay safe. This is the Warden, and I'm out of here.